how to channel your stress and anxiety into ideas. This is what we're talking about today on the FilmSquad Podcast. If you're like me, you've been spending a lot of your time refreshing Twitter and Facebook and ignoring all your texts because you got bigger fish to fry and more things to worry about. As much as I want good news and everyone else wants good news to fill their inbox, and the only fun that I've had recently is FaceTiming some friends. But that's kind of I guess it's not a waste of time, it's a good way to keep sane, but writing is what I'm used to doing, and making movies is what my passion is. And I'm not doing any of that. And it's driving me crazy. A quick Google of symptoms for COVID-19 and all of a sudden I think I have it, and anxiety and depression are sinking in, and just the news in general is just creating chaos in my head. Just a buttload of stress. So yeah, it's fucking hard to write right now. And I'm sure everyone else agrees. Writing can possibly pay your bills, even when Hollywood is completely dried up, because they're still gonna be looking for ideas and people are still gonna buy books from Amazon to keep themselves busy. So that being said, I have to write, not just for me, but to get the stress and anxiety out of my brain. It's like a form of meditation, and if you guys haven't used writing and to get your imagination flowing to meditate, you should try it. It really, really does help. So how do you channel your stress and anxiety into ideas? Coming up with a movie idea or a book idea is not easy, and we all know that. And they usually tell people to follow what they're most interested in and what they deal with in everyday life, because everyday life is easy to translate onto paper because you already lived it and already know it. But right now, we're all dealing with the same thing. We can't all just go and write an outbreak movie or an outbreak book or a coronavirus book or movie, because everyone's probably already on it. Even if it gets saturated, your idea still might flourish more than others, but still. So here's 5 ways to beat anxiety into a script. Number 1, location inspiration. So you've been stuck in one location for a bit now, obviously. If you're either quarantined or you are under lockdown. And think about other characters and how they would handle that. Maybe people from movies that you really love. How would they handle this situation? And again, no one wants to read a disease script, like I already said, but this is just to help you get your ideas flowing. But maybe you can do something like Room 104, where everyone is stuck in a hotel room. Well, they're not stuck, but this is about a show that follows one hotel room and everything that goes on in that hotel room. Think about an isolation story. Number 2, turn your damn phone off and open a book. I've noticed over the last year that when I open a book and I get deep into it, my imagination just flows. And I can really see what they're writing in that story. How can you use what you're reading in that story to write something of your own? Sometimes when I'm reading a book and there's a scene maybe where there's a scary building or a scary hotel, it gives me ideas. Oh yeah, I got a movie idea for this little kid who haunts a hotel. Why does he haunt the hotel? Well, because he was murdered there when he was 4 years old. Or maybe he was murdered because of a racist act. That's controversial. That has a lot of backstory to it that you can write, and it'll get your imagination flowing. So how can maybe your kids' picture books help you get your imagination back? Maybe these pictures can inspire your own story. Here's number 3. Picture your favorite movie, maybe with different characters. Like for instance, what if Harry Potter, okay, I know this is pretty far-fetched, but what if Professor Snape was played by Pauly Shore? How much different would that movie be? Now that's stupid and crazy, I know, but how would that change the movie? It would completely change the movie and the tone. So maybe thinking about that and creating your own film based off of something like that, or your own book. How can you apply those lessons to your own writing? Maybe if you're stuck at a point and you need to switch things up a little bit. How about a classic movie in current times? This is number 4 on the list, okay? A lot of films have been doing this in the past, maybe with rebooting their franchise and stuff, but how about rebooting a genre? Or taking homage from a whole bunch of different films. For instance, Stranger Things has done that with E.T., Ghostbusters, Firestarter, Christine, Stuff, Cocoon. All of these movies have been, they've played homage to. You could also do that with your own film. Tarantino does it all the time. That's why he's a master filmmaker. How will this help you generate ideas? It definitely should, so maybe take that into consideration. Now, how about telling a story behind a piece of artwork? I have 2 pieces of artwork hanging up, one with a guy and a bear's coming out of him, like a spirit, and a woman with a fox coming out of her, and it also looks like a spirit. This could easily be generated into a story. If you stare at it long enough, ideas will for sure come to your head. I hope that inspires you, and I hope this podcast inspires you. And if you did learn anything from it, or if it did help you, please smash that follow button or the subscribe button. And if you're listening on Spotify, please follow on Spotify. Please follow on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. And please stay tuned, because there's definitely going to be one every Friday for you guys to listen to. And we're also going to have extra videos up on YouTube for you to watch about filmmaking. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much for your support. Peace out. Happy quarantine.